Did you know there's a Microsoft Access function that works in queries, forms, reports, VBA, but mysteriously fails right where you actually need it? Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I'm your instructor, Richard Rost. Today we're going to talk about that, plus calculated fields, table-level validation rules, and how to enforce good data without writing defensive code everywhere. And just to be clear, you don't have to care about fitness at all for this video. Fitness is just the backdrop that I'm using. The real value here is the database design techniques I'm showing you, and these apply to any Access database, whether you're tracking customers, inventory, orders, or anything else. All right, let's get to it. All right, so in the last video, we put together our body composition table. Now, in today's video, we're going to start off by calculating our body fat percentage. So we're going to create a query design. We're going to bring that table over here. And since we're going to use this in a lot of different places, I'm going to bring in the star. And right here, we're going to calculate our body fat percentage. Let me close this. We don't need this guy. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it better. Shift F2. There we go. And we're going to call this guy, let's call it body fat percentage, PCT, and that's going to be equal to, in a query, we use the colon, right? It's going to be the fat mass divided by the total weight times 100. Do we need the parentheses? No, not really, right? Order of operations, division, multiplication, same level, left to right. It doesn't really matter here. I just find it makes it more readable. Now, let's hit OK. Let's save this as my body comp Q, and let's take a look at what we got here. Now, I'm going to bring body fat percentage over this way because it's right next to total weight and fat mass. I'm going to put it right there. All right, now, a couple things that come up. First of all, should you round this number here with a round function? I don't usually. I tend to round stuff only when necessary. I generally like my queries to return raw, accurate data. All right, this isn't presentation ready. Rounding is a display decision, not usually a data decision. Now, there are exceptions. There are cases where rounding absolutely belongs here in this step, like if you're calculating sales tax or line items, right? You've got to round each step, each line item on an order, so the pennies add up correctly, right? If you're doing sales tax, for example, and you don't end up with the Superman 3 office space problem that I've talked about in a lot of my videos, right? Where all the fractions of a penny don't get calculated properly. So in that case, you definitely would round this number with the round function. But here, this value really isn't being used to calculate anything else. And we're not going to display the query to the end user, right? The end user's not getting this query. They're going to get a form or a report that pulls this number in. That's where we do the rounding. And I don't even use the round function. I just display the number of decimal points that I want. Okay, so this isn't a spot where I would add rounding. Now, another thing, notice we got null value there, and that's fine. Now, you might be thinking that, well, we got to take nulls into consideration in here, right? We've got to say, okay, if this is null or this is null, then we need to return a null, blah, blah, blah. But no. You don't have to worry about that, right? Because if any of these values in this calculation are null, the final result is always going to be null. And that's what we want, right? Null plus anything is null. Null times anything is null. Null to whatever power is null, right? And null part of any calculation, the whole result turns out to null. What you do have to worry about is zeros. Right? You don't want a divide by zero problem here. Okay, now you could work that into the calculation, or better yet, let's use a validation rule so they can't enter zero for either of those things. Zero is an invalid value, definitely for these, right? Fat mass and total. You are never 0% fat. I believe you would be dead if you had 0% body fat, right? Right? Men need to be at least like 2% body fat, and for women it's higher. It's like 8 or 10%. So no. So we're going to disallow zero values, and we're going to do that at the table level. Okay. And so if we don't allow zeros, we don't have to worry about divide by zero errors. So let's go into the table design view. Let's go to our total weight and set a validation rule, right? Really easy, greater than 0. I mean, you could realistically put anything you want in there. What's the minimum weight of an adult human being? I mean, or if you, I mean, you could let kids use the database, I guess. So you could put like 20 or 30 or 50 pounds in there, whatever you want, right? Weight cannot be 0 or less, right? I'll copy this. And we'll do the same thing for fat mass. All right, validation rule greater than 0. And we'll put in here fat mass cannot be 0 or less. We'll do the same thing for lean mass, I guess, right? It's the same thing. You need to have some kind of lean mass in your body. Greater than 0. Lean mass cannot be 0 or less. Okay. So what we're basically saying here is these three values, we're not requiring them, right? Don't make them required. You don't have to enter them. They can be null, but you can't enter 0. If you put something in there, it's got to be at least 1 or higher, right? Well, or since these are doubles, technically 0.000001, right? Or higher. And you could make that, greater than 1 or put a realistic number in here, whatever works for you, right? But people will accidentally fat finger minus 15. I've had that happen. Here's one more thing to take into consideration. What if they type in a fat mass that's greater than their total weight? That could happen too. Or lean mass. We're just going to focus on fat for now. Okay, we could do lean another time maybe. So what we could do is we can set up a table level validation rule that looks at the relationship between fat mass and total weight and make sure that this isn't greater than that. Right? This is a table level validation rule. Right? Here's a video I did on this about 4 years ago. I'll put a link to it down below. It essentially lets you set up a validation rule that looks at multiple fields in the table. So go to the table's property sheet, make sure you're on table properties, and come right here for validation rule. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in. And for this, you're going to say the fat mass has to be less than the total weight. Right? Hit OK. Oh, now be very careful. Look what it just did. This happens in property sheets and it happens in conditional formatting a lot. Look at what it did. Access is trying to be helpful and it put quotes around this thinking it's text, but it's not. These are fields. So see, sometimes you even got to put these brackets in stupid places even though you're not putting spaces in your field names. I hate that. I can't stand that. All right. Watch that. That happens in conditional formatting a lot too. All right. Let's save it. Do you want to check the data? I'm going to say no. Usually you'd have it run through and it'll check and see if your table data is good. Okay, let's go back over to here. Now, if I put a fat mass in of 20, we're good. If I put 400 in here, it yells. We didn't give it a validation text, but see, we're not allowed to do that. All right? But you can have a null value in there and it's just fine. Okay? Because remember, is null less than anything else? It's null. Okay? All right, put a validation rule in here, right? Let's say that fat mass needs to be less than total weight. And you can do the same thing with lean mass as well. Just have like an or condition in here. Be careful in here, by the way, because let's say you do want to check for null values, right? If you do something like this, nz, comma 0, let's say you want to check and see if each one of these are null. Watch what happens. Save it. Say no, do you want to check it? And look, unknown function nz in validation expression. What? What's that all about? Well, this is one thing that I can't stand. nz, it's one of the most popular functions. I use it all the time. It works in queries. It works in forms. It works in reports. It works in your VBA code. I think it even works in macros. But it doesn't work in validation rules. Access team, what's up with that? Why doesn't nz work? You can use is null. You can use if, the immediate if function, so you can put those two together and get an nz. But I can't believe that nz doesn't work. So a basic function like that does not work. So we don't need it for this one, but just keep that in mind for the future. If you ever want to use nz in a validation rule, you're not crazy. I'll put that one square on the access team. So that's a simple table level validation rule. And that's just to prevent someone from putting in a higher fat mass than their total weight. That's all. Okay? And one thing I also want to add, I know I'm going to get comments about BMR. There's also a measurement called BMI, body mass index. This is basal metabolic rate. That's how many calories you burn at rest. BMI, body mass index, is it's basically a nonsense number that the government came up with. That basically is a ratio. It's a chart they put together, and it's basically your height versus your weight. And it's basically a BS number. It tries to label people as underweight, normal, or overweight, or obese based on that chart. Here's the chart on the government's website. Now, I'm 5'11". So according to this, my healthy range is 136 to 172. No. A while back, I got down to 185. I look like I had cancer. I do not look healthy at 185, let alone 172, which is the higher end of their healthy weight. You could be a 200-pound weightlifter at 5'11" and be ripped with muscle, and you'd have the same BMI as someone who's basically a fat slob. And, you know, which one is healthy, right? So BMI, don't pay any attention to the BMI table. The only time BMI is remotely useful is as a rough, like, population statistic. And if you absolutely can't afford a smart scale that'll tell you what your BMR is, I guess you could kind of use this, but no, I don't refer to it. For personal fitness tracking, you want body fat percentage if you can get it, and the actual composition data for your BMR. And that's good. That's good stuff. Okay. So our table's pretty much done. I got all the fields there I want to track. We got our query set up. We got our body fat percentage. Now we're all set to start working on our data entry form, and we'll make a little chart form. And we got all kinds of cool stuff coming up. So the big takeaways from today are this. Keep your calculations in your queries. Keep your presentation logic in your forms and your reports. And use table-level validation rules to prevent bad data from ever getting into your database in the first place. And remember, not every function works everywhere in Microsoft Access, and sometimes you have to adjust your approach depending on where that logic lives. And again, I'll repeat it, this may be a fitness database, but the techniques you saw today apply to any Access project, whether you're working with customers, inventory, orders, anything else. So, let me know what you thought of today's video in the comments below. And if you've ever been bitten by a function that mysteriously didn't work where you needed it to, I want to know about it. But that's going to be your Tech Help video for today, brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button right now and give me a like. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel, which is completely free. And make sure you click that bell icon and select all to receive notifications whenever I post a new video. Do you need help with your Microsoft Access project? Whether you need a tutor, a consultant, or a developer to build something for you, check out my Access Developer Network. It's a directory I put together personally of Access experts who can help with your project. Visit my website to learn more. Any links or other resources that I mentioned in the video can be found in the description text below the video. Just click on that Show More link right there. YouTube's pretty good about hiding that, but it's there. Just look for it. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access, including building forms, queries, reports, tables, all that stuff. It's over 4 hours long. You can find it on my website or my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below you can click on. And did I mention it's completely free? And if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. That's it. And it's free for members of my YouTube channel at any level. Speaking of memberships, if you're interested in joining my channel, you get all kinds of awesome perks. Silver members get access to all of my extended cut Tech Help videos, and there's hundreds of them by now. They also get one free beginner class each month, and yes, those are from my full courses. Gold members get the previous perks plus access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my Tech Help videos. Plus, you get access to my code vault, where I keep tons of different functions and all kinds of source code that I use. And gold members get one free expert class every month after completing the beginner series. Platinum members get all of the previous perks, plus they get all of my beginner courses, all of them from every subject. And you get one free advanced or developer class every month after finishing the expert series. And you can become a Diamond sponsor and have your name listed on the sponsor page on my website. So that's it. Once again, my name is Richard Rost. Thank you for watching this video brought to you by accesslearningzone.com. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something today. Live long and prosper, my friends. I'll see you next time.